Good evening. We begin with the many questions being asked after two vehicles plunged off the side of the snowbank-lined expressway flyover ramps in Kitchener yesterday. The OPP now saying there wasn't much reason to close the ramps after the first crash involving a taxi and before the second crash, which saw a Waterloo woman killed. Let's bring in CTV's Colton Wiens with new reporting on this tonight. And Colton, you spoke with police about why the highway was open again after that first crash with the taxi.
Yeah, Tony, police tell me while the snow that was plowed along the ramps was causing an embankment along the edges, the driving lanes were cleared, so it was determined the roadway would be kept open. But a personal injury lawyer we spoke with says, in his opinion, the first crash should have led to action. It was early Monday morning when a 38-year-old Waterloo woman died after her vehicle launched off the side of the snowbank-lined expressway flyover ramps in Kitchener, hours after a taxi had also gone over the edge, its driver not injured. The OPP telling CTV News this today.
Road conditions and weather conditions don't cause crashes. It's the driver behavior and the actions of the driver or the vehicle that results in issues. Obviously we'll be doing a mechanical examination of the vehicle to make sure there was no pre-existing mechanical issue that may have contributed to the crash. But of course, obviously environmental factors and human factors are other issues that we're going to be looking at.
Police say after the taxi crash, the road was closed for an investigation, but after consultation with the Ministry of Transportation, it was reopened because lanes were clear to drive on.
I don't think it would be reasonable to shut down a ramp when it's a perfectly good, plowed, salted ramp, even after a snow system. The plows are going through there. They're pushing the snow off the travel lanes to get those lanes open, which is exactly what we need.
Police say up until the second crash happened, drivers were having no issue navigating the road, and they point out embankments of snow are on the sides of highways all over the province.
This is certainly not the first time we've had vehicles ramp up onto snowbanks. I don't know what the MTO were dealing with at the time. Obviously, they're dealing with snow clearing operations all across the region. Looking at all the circumstances, I think it's reasonable to have the highway moving and have the highway open because the roads are in good condition. The lanes themselves plowed and salted, and we're open to traffic. The shoulders, that's a different story, but that's not where cars are supposed to be driving.
Crews spent several hours Monday evening removing the snowbanks from the flyover. The Ministry of Transportation saying in an email, "Our thoughts are with everyone affected by these incidents," and they say they're reviewing winter maintenance operations at the time of the incidents and will review findings of the police investigation when available.
The key things in any personal injury matter is determining, first of all, who's at fault. And in this case, as I said, it's who knew what when and what did they do with that information.
Personal injury lawyer Rob Deutschman believes there's a strong case for an argument that the snow should have been cleared after the first crash.
These are experienced snowplow operators. These are experienced people working the roads, so they're well aware of the potential dangers that occur. There could be some element of driver error there, but at the same time, driver error would have ended up with them hitting if it was clear, hitting the barrier and not being launched over.
We should also note the province contracts out highway snow clearing around Kitchener, and in this area, it's MCon Services who's responsible. They did not respond today to our request for a comment, and the OPP are still investigating those crashes. Tony.
Okay, Colton Wiens reporting live for us tonight. Colton, thank you.